I guess first of all, talk about what you guys have been working on so far, offensively and with quarterbacks too.
Yeah, day 4 today, just second day in pads, base install really. The first 5 days is heavy base install, and then we'll take a day off before the first scrimmage. We've thrown a lot at the guys, maybe more than we ever have in the first 4 days. We're really trying to get it all in now so we can have some time to evaluate guys, especially the young guys, how they pick everything up. From a quarterback standpoint, some good and some bad. All three of those guys, it's hard when you're cycling them all three, trying to do it equally in terms of just, anybody getting a lot of continual reps to get a great evaluation. The scrimmage will really help us with that. But all three have done a nice job making plays, but all three have missed some plays. So as a whole, we're just looking for the consistency of performance we need to take advantage and make explosive plays.
Rhett, not to belabor the point, but obviously we haven't talked to you about it since you lose your best skill position player for the second straight year. What's been your reaction for the past week with Jovon?
I don't know if we've lost our best skill player. So that'd be my answer.
But your reaction to losing Jovon in general?
I'm going to talk about the guys that are here. So that's a fair question, but I'm going to talk about the guys that are here, and we'll go from there. I feel really good about how the running backs are practicing right now. I really do.
Carryon's a guy that, gained weight, got bigger and more physical. What have you seen out of him these first couple of days?
Carryon's steady. I mean, he's very instinctive. So far he seems to be pretty healthy. Shoulder's holding up well. Again, he's still young, and he's had one season here and has never had a game where he had a ton of carries, but he's smart. He's a real smart kid, so he understands the scheme. He understands the protection. He's got good instincts, so just need to continue to get him reps and get him ready. And so far he's had a good first 4 days. We haven't even put on full pads yet. That'll be tomorrow for the first time. So there's still a lot, left to be understood about everybody.
What's the timeline like for in the next week for the quarterbacks? Is it very similar to what you guys did in 13, where you're just looking for that light to come on for one of them and kind of?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. As quick as possible is the best case scenario for us. I think it's best for that individual and really all of them. I think it's best for our team. But it's also getting it right is more important than getting it done fast. And so, like I said, tomorrow will be the third day with pretty much shoulder pads on at least. First day in full pads, get a day off, and then we'll have a really good scrimmage. And whether or not we know after that, I don't know, but we'll probably have a pretty decent idea. And then we'll just kind of evaluate where we're at after that scrimmage.
Like you said, you haven't really done a lot, but how is JF3 right now with turnovers? I know that was a big concern.
He has not had as many turnovers, but then again, last year, I don't know how many he really had in a practice setting. It was when we went live and went in the scrimmage setting. So, again, that's why the scrimmage is probably the best test also, because guys aren't just in there for 4 plays and out and 4 plays and out. They're getting drives, and so there's results after everything. It's a result-driven game. So are we scoring points? Are we getting first downs? Are we moving it on third down, turning it over? So, but he's done a better job protecting the football so far, yes.
When you guys go scrimmage, when you scrimmage?
We got a practice tomorrow. We got an off day, and I believe we'll probably around Tuesday or sometime early next week.
You say that getting it right is what's most important, and that's always the case.
Right.
But bear with me here. But do you feel you can afford to be wrong? And by that I mean, Rhett, from the standpoint of this fan base and what they saw last year from Jeremy and Sean, if it weren't to be John initially and something were to not, the performance isn't there, and you turn to John at that point and he succeeds, I think the fan base at that point will say, well, how come he wasn't there in the first place? Because you kind of knew what you had before, as opposed to they're really looking forward to a dual threat capability. So
Right.
Can you afford to be wrong, as opposed to there were probably times where you could be in your career?
Well, no, I don't think you really ever want to be wrong with, picking the starting quarterback for your football team. But I also think, while I understand the question, that first of all, we want whoever it is to start and be the guy and everything be right, regardless of who that is. But we're not going to put a guy out there if he's not ready, if he can't protect the football, if he can't give us the best chance to win. And, sometimes that guy is not ready at the beginning of the year. And sometimes they are ready by week 6. I mean, you see that with a lot of people. A lot of times, whether it's a true freshman, a redshirt freshman. In this case with John, he's almost like a true freshman. I mean, yeah, he's coming from junior college, but he didn't play either of his 2 years at Florida State, and he split time last year. So he didn't have a lot of college snaps under his belt. So that's a good question. We're going to put out the guy that we think gives us the best chance to win from the jump. and we'll go from there and see how things go.
What kind of kid is John Franklin III? I mean, everybody's been talking about him on the documentary. There's mixed opinions, of course, but you've seen him since the spring.
He's a great kid. I haven't watched the documentary, by the way, and so that's what I heard. I've gotten some texts. So, what is IMBD or whatever? Someone asked me if I had my profile up or something yet today. I don't even know what they're talking about. But but anyways, I have no idea how that portrayed him or anyone. But he's a good young man. He's a good kid. He's been a hard worker. He's been a great teammate. I just hope everybody is fair to him with expectations because, we put so much up on hype and expectations just because we have so much time and we need something to talk about. And if you are the guy, great. Still, don't put the expectations on someone. If you're not right away, that doesn't also mean you failed. I mean, again, you're talking about a young man who didn't start playing quarterback till sophomore year in high school. Most guys that play quarterback in the SEC were playing quarterback in 5th, 6th grade, and then has not played hardly any college ball except for splitting time at junior college. So he's improving, but there's still, a lot of some guys just need to play the game. And so how it shakes out, I don't know. But regardless, either way, I just hope that the expectations are fair to him.
How do you like Austin Golson moving to tackle? I understand that, he did what he had to do last year, but he really likes not having to have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and he's done a solid job for us. He's a very athletic kid. He's more athletic probably than you think by just looking at him. He played tackle, obviously, all his career in high school. He played it the 1 year he was at Ole Miss, so he's comfortable out there. He's doing a nice job. He's been steady for us. Sometimes you just take that extra responsibility off of him, and, it's just better for him. But he's had a steady 4 days. The thing about all our guys is the competition is strong. I mean, we're competing at every spot. And, we're going to play the best guys. I don't care if it's a freshman or a fifth-year senior. We've got to have the guys that can execute, can make plays, can be mentally and physically tough. I mean, that's the number one thing because our league's a tough league. And every game, even last year, 5 games came down in the fourth quarter for us that we didn't win. Who's going to make those plays in the third quarter and the fourth quarter? Who's going to be tough? All the guys are competing. And Austin's doing a nice job of that. He's just got to keep on coming.
What have your initial impressions been of Cam Martin?
He's really fast. He's a really good kid, really conscientious. He wants to be good. He wants to be able to help us this year. He's studying hard. It's been 4 days, so his head's spinning. But he can run. So we'll see. It'll be good, especially the guys that have never been here. When we go live and scrimmage, that's when we'll get the best information on those guys. And, can they hold on to the ball? Can they break a tackle? How are they when they get just absolutely their head knocked off? Do they hop back up? And but so far, he's had a solid first 4 days for a newcomer.
Is it fair to suggest that Cam Petway, the expectations for him are different this year? And what have you seen for him at a tailback that you like?
Yeah, we're gonna need Cam to be a big part of our success. And the good thing, he's played tailback before. He's now played H-back, so there's a lot of versatility there. He's a load, when he gets going, and he goes downhill. He runs like a running back's supposed to, and he's a load. So, we're really counting on him to step up and have a big year. And so far, he's doing everything you'd like him to do to be going in that direction.
Rhett, if John Franklin doesn't win the starting job right away, do you think there's a possibility you could work him into some certain packages and still use him early on in the season?
Absolutely. Nothing's off the table. Again, for us, the big emphasis for us is we got to play with better tempo, and part of that is playing with better tempo, okay? But the other part is obviously converting and staying on the field and getting some momentum going. We've got to play with good tempo, and then the next thing is we got to generate explosive plays. That's where we really struggled last year, and it's hard to score a lot of points in this league if you can't generate explosive plays. So we'll do anything and everything we can to put our guys in positions to allow them to try to make plays. And so if that's something that we need to do, that's something we do.
Rhett, how much did y'all recruit Cam Martin beforehand?
I had talked to Cam a lot on the phone. My time's off, so I don't. At some point for 6 months to a year, and he kept saying, "Yeah, I want to come visit. I want to come visit." Sometimes a kid in Texas, you're a little skeptical till they actually show up. And then, of course, he committed to Baylor, and so therefore we never got him on campus. So we had good dialogue with him for a while. He was a kid we were familiar with, but we didn't have a great relationship because we had never come and visited. But it's kind of goes back to the thing in recruiting that you always try to leave good impressions with people and treat people the right way because you never know when things are going to circle back, and we're blessed to have him.
Did he contact y'all first after he got his release?
After he got his release, yes. yeah, he reached out to us, he and his coach.
I'll just say, with Cameron Petway now pretty much completely at tailback.
Right.
Have you told Chandler, well, I mean, it's your job at H-back now, because who else is kind of rotating there with him?
Well, Chandler knows that, but I'll say this now. I mean, Chandler rushed for a bunch of yards in the highest league in Florida football and won state championships. And so Chandler's a guy that can carry the football. Y'all saw it in the spring game now. He did get hawked down, but, he can run the football. So he's a guy that's going to play both positions. Then you look at guys like Landon Rice, Jalen Harris, guys that are tight ends but can also play H-back, like we've had guys do in the past. And so that's something we're working them at. And then you've got Keenan Sweeney's doing a nice job for us. So we've got options there. And that's, like we said back at the end of spring, the positive with like Chandler and Bubba or Cameron Petway is the versatility they give us. And that's been a big positive.
Whether it's about Rock or when he was here, carrying on, obviously, Tim was always up front about just the uncertainty of durability. When you have guys who just never played a lot in high school because they were in blowouts and things like that, Carrion just didn't even recall the last time he had 20 carries in a game.
Right.
How do you develop that comfort, whether it's them or you mentioned Petway or Chandler who had more carries but they don't have blazing speed compared to traditional backs? How do you develop the comfort with these guys when there's no way of knowing until there's a game, right? So how do you develop that between now and September 3rd?
Well, hey, we're going to get them coached up and get them ready to let them play. And then we'll learn what they can handle and what they can't. And it may be a committee thing. I mean, it may be a deal where we don't have maybe that guy who has 30 carries like we have in the past. Or there may be a guy who emerges that can handle that. And we'll take it as it comes. We do feel like those guys can do a very good job for us at running back. And we've got other guys that can be explosive too. I mean, whether it's young guys and other ways to run the football too to try to take pressure off them. But I don't know that yet. We won't know until we get out there and give it to him 20, 25 times how he handles it. And I don't know if he has to carry it that many times.
I know you've been paying attention to the Pro Football Focus stuff that we've been tweeting out over the summer and all their analysis. Do you feel you have the best guard tandem in the SEC? They've scored unbelievably well by their analysis. Do you think you have the best guard tandem in the SEC?
You know, you feel really good. Al's played a lot of ball. And there's a lot of experience there. And that gives you great comfort, whether he's helping someone like X at center or he's got another guy on the left side like an Austin Golson, a Darius James, whoever, that hadn't played that position a lot. Not that he's necessarily telling them what to do, but just having a veteran guy that does everything right and does his job helps those guys. And then a guy like Braden who's just so physically gifted. We feel very good about those guys. We need some depth behind them. But, yeah, I mean, obviously those guys have done a nice job for us, and we're expecting them to lead us.
Overall take of the wide receivers and then impressions early of the young guys.
From a wide receiver standpoint, work in progress. Again, it's kind of like everybody else. The consistency of performance isn't there. Is it usually there after day 4? No. We're making some plays. We're leaving plays out there. But what I have liked is the toughness and the mindset of those guys. They're blocking very well on the perimeter. They're being tough. They're being physical. They're being coached. They're allowing themselves to be coached hard. But we got some guys that can run. They all run really well. I don't know if there's like a world-class guy, but they all run well. They're big bodies. And so it's just a matter of continuing to play because we're going to need them to make plays for us. And were you asking about freshmen at just receiver and overall? I think all 4 of those guys are going to be players for us. Now, how quick are they? I don't know. We're trying to get all 4 of them ready to play and get them ready to go. And it kind of goes back to your question a minute ago about someone like John Franklin. Is that game 1? Is it as the season goes? I don't know. But we're planning on all 4 of those guys helping us, whether it's a big role or not. Will really depend on the rest of fall camp and then once we get into games.
What line that Gus has used about Jeremy all offseason is that he went through a storm. Is he still going through that storm, or do you feel like he's earned the trust of the coaching staff again, or is that first 3 games still in the back of his mind or your mind or Gus's mind or everybody's mind still?
He's not going through a storm. He's gone through the storm. I mean, I think everybody gets that. He had a lot of adversity. It was a rough year for him, as for others. The very impressive thing is a lot of times young men that age, they transfer, they quit, they leave, they whatever. And, he pushed through it. And you got to be extremely proud of him for that. I have no idea what's going to happen moving forward. We're going to play the best guy, and there's no kind of past baggage that'll factor in, and there's no kind of, but hey, because he's been through it. No, the best guy's going to play. But I am proud of how he's pushed through that and been a great teammate and been an Auburn man and been someone who said, no, I'm going to graduate from Auburn. I love Auburn, and I want to help this team win in whatever capacity that is, and I'm going to compete until you tell me I am or I'm not the guy. And so from that standpoint, yeah, he's come out of the storm, and now it's about a fresh start, a new year, and to me, nothing from last year matters anymore for him or anyone else. It's not going to help us win or lose. If we'd have gone 15-0, it wouldn't matter, and then what happened, it won't matter. This is a new year and a new team, and so we'll see what happens.
What was it, Stephen Davis' practice?
He came late. Yeah, and everything's fine. He just had a couple things he was fixing, and he was there at the end.
What does he add to the running back situation?
Again, he's brand new. Now, he's a big guy, and he's got good DNA, you know. So, you know, he's a guy that we'll just see where he's at. I know Tim told me after the first day, the first time he met with him after the first day, that, you know, he retains stuff pretty well. So we'll just see. Again, once we get him playing and getting tackled, we'll have a better idea.
All right.
See you guys.